So the program we're trying to work with, and if you read the language that we put in place, it was purely let the actuaries review it, no prescription from me or government of any kind, and let's figure this out. Just with you see all the numbers, you lay it all out and say,
But
okay.
won't we be binded by what they say? So if we go back to work and sign a contract and say, yes, we'll get them to come in and look at it, we're binded by that. We still have no choice in it, correct?
But you won't, the conditions, the key thing is the conditions that are surrounding it. So, we put like 6 or 7 or 8 conditions that protected your pension, protected you personally, so you didn't lose anything, protected the fact that it would be fully funded. In other words, the government will ensure it's fully funded before it ever starts. And that means not at 70, 80, or 90%, it means 120%.
And then what about the money that is in arrears?
That's all taken care of.
It's not.
No, we would fully fund it.
You see this sign right here?
Yeah, we will fully fund it.
This is all we're looking for.
Yeah, no, we have a very
That's
good
all I'm
package
looking
on
for.
the
I
table,
just
right?
want to make
No,
sure
it is.
I can
I'll say
live.
the wage, that's not the concern. It's not the concern, it's the pension.
Yes.
Because it's proven that the shared risk doesn't work. Because what back in 2010, 2014, when you took it, there was 20% that went into this group, 70% went into this group. Yeah, that 20% did great. So you could say they did great, they increased, that's a great plan. But what about the rest of them that didn't do good? Cost them double and they end up with less.
No, but here's the challenge. This is the simplicity of what's happened. So back in when the pensions were put together, they were designed for people who retire maybe and work and retire for 15 years, right? Fortunately, that average has gone from 15 years to 30 years. But the pensions were never designed to handle double the time in terms of being retired. I think it's great, but the pensions were never designed for
But
that.
the sad part is you can't afford to retire.
Well, no.
We
We want to be able to see that you can do that, but the
Yes.
pensions are there. So what happened? There's this argument about, well, the pensions were underfunded. Well, back in the 70s, maybe early 80s, that was true, and government took holidays. But in the 90s, the agreement was made, we're going to put all the pensions and bring them back to fully funded. And once they're fully funded, then we do the normal payments. And I mean the normal employee contributions.
Correct. But
And-
then
and
it
so-
stopped being funded
No, it was fully funded as of 2002.
until 2010.
Yep.
And then it was lucky that our 2 collective agreements protected us from garbage. That's what that was garbage. You fold the rest of them, put them in
No.
a shared risk,
No.
and it's not working. It's proven to not work over and
So
over and
what
over
makes you
again.
say
we
it's
make
what-
a year.
Yeah, how
Because
about
I see
With
pay
what we make
stubs.
a year, it
It costs
doesn't
them
work.
double,
Yeah.
and then
No.
they're going to end up with half at the end.
No, it's not. See, the point is this. So every year you have to put in every year about $7 to $10 million has to be put in to those 2 plans that you have, and the ones that are on the 2745 group, the men group. $7 to $10 million just to keep it whole.
When you owe 69
Every year.
million to?
Pardon?
But the one you owe 69 million to?
But that is not a case of
Is that why
the
you're
government.
so fixated on the pension?
No, but just a minute.
So that goes away?
Let me tell you something. We already are contributing every day in every check. The government continues. Employees, taxpayers contribute to the pension. My point is, it's not enough. It's not enough to keep it whole. It just keeps losing ground because the payouts are so much greater than the contributions. So you have to balance it somewhere. So what I was saying is that look at the conditions and say, okay, what is missing under those conditions that you feel needs to be added?
I feel we deserve more of
Right
an
now, our
hourly
children
wage
need to go
myself.
And we're doing that, right?
But as a bus driver or an EA, you end up, you don't have a 40-hour week. You're making $20 an hour.
And not 12 months a year.
But not 12 months a year.
So we have to work 30 years
So
to
you-
get 25-year pension.
Exactly.
But so what could we do? I mean, if you talk about the bus drivers, in some cases we do that. I mean, what could be the additional work that bus drivers could do to bring the hours up? How would we manage that?
There's lots of things we could do. Trips, you go into the schools work, there's lots of things we can do.
Let's look at that.
And we'd be willing to do
Well,
that
let's
if you
look
pay
at
us
that.
more.
But
We can't make such little money
But-
all
but
4
I
years
agree.
and have nothing in the end.
So
and that's what's going to happen.
I agree. I don't disagree. I said, how do we do things differently so we can pay more? Because we know getting people is a problem, no matter what discipline they're in.
Well, there is a solution. Stop
Yeah.
making the rich get richer and start
Well,
helping us
yeah,
out.
I mean,
We
I
are
would
the
like
poor.
to think, we realize we made a serious change or attempt here in an offer to settle this.
There is a serious, but the process of bargaining is back and forth. every time we're getting the thing going back and forth, you get up and walk away, and it's another slap in the face to us.
No, I don't get up
we
and
don't
walk
know
away.
anything.
I've only been involved directly in 2 meetings. One was over here at the back in August,
Yes.
and the other one was last week.
Yes.
Yes.
Which they were locked in a room, and you kept them waiting and waiting and waiting.
No, we told them. They knew what we were doing because we left the room.
And then when you came here on Saturday, Ellie was going to come up. You said, let's have a conversation, right? You said to
Yes.
us, all of us, and we were ready. We were waiting for Ellie to come up. She was coming up to grab the mic.
They took the mic away from me.
They did, to give to Ellie to ask her question, and you got upset and walked away.
No, I didn't get upset at all. I had
You
no
definitely-
mic. I had no mic.
She needed the mic to ask the question.
No,
How-
the guy came to me and said, we want the mic.
Because Ellie was coming up to ask her question, because she's the one that has paychecks to show the shared risk doesn't work. So how can you guarantee our shared risk isn't going to go into that one?
So you need to put on those items that we put on as conditions. You need to say, okay, what more do I need to add to feel comfortable with that value? Because the point is, and what we tried to do in that meeting was say, look, I'm not prescribing this. I just want to have the evaluation so everybody sees it. Everybody knows.
Definitely, but then
What
you're
the
now
situation is.
playing everybody against us. So we have
I'm
two.
not. No.
No,
I
they said the offer they countered you was that we would go back to work Monday. We didn't get to go back to work Monday because you won't even look at that because you want our
No.
pension so bad. You are fixated on pension.
No, it's not. It's
Because we could have talked about that after.
No,
after we got back
but we
to
don't,
work.
right? We don't. I've been this road before. Maybe that's an advantage or disadvantage.
It is a disadvantage.
I've been down this before, and we don't deal with it. I didn't prescribe it in this kind of negotiations. I just said, let's be sure, let's have a plan, have it evaluated, let all the members see it, and
We
then go
need
from
not
there.
to be
Because you
mandated
don't
back
have
to
to
work. We
worry
need to
about-
be listened to and things fixed. But
Things fixed.
giving us two people to decide my future is not good
No,
enough.
it's not two people. It's
You
an-
said
it's-
one from the union and one from
yeah,
you.
but it's an actuary. It's
Yes.
a company.
So the other
But the thing
actuators.
is, you don't have to worry about your pension down the road.
Yeah, but
You
I'm
know
on
you
the
can
same
live off
pension.
yours,
No.
but for us, we can't.
I'm on the same pension as you guys are.
Yeah, but you
No,
make so much
okay.
more than us.
Sorry.
Can I have your wages,
I'm on the
please?
Pay us your wages,
I'm
Higgs.
on the same, the one that we're talking about, we're on the same one.
We got that from the other MLAs too, but they don't understand. We make less than $25,000 a year.
But what I said
So we can't give
them,
to our own RSPs.
Well,
We take these crap jobs
you
to have a future.
You just here said to me, there are different things we could be doing in order to raise
Yes.
our wages.
Yes.
And I'm totally on side. How
So
to do
there's
that.
different ways that we can solve this as well. You can put us back to work on all the other stipulations, put the pensions aside, so my 4 kids can go to school, I can get back on my school bus, I
Right.
can deliver everybody else's
Yeah.
kids, and we'll deal with the pensions after.
Well, that's all I'm asking. But I'm asking for the commitment,
But the
not
problem
best
is,
efforts.
will we
I'm
be
asking.
Will
dealing
we-
with the pensions
will we
later?
deal
Well, that
with
would just be stepped aside and we won't go back there.
Our last
that again?
contract should be
Like, are
binded
you-
by our pensions until they sit down and talk about it. I don't want 2 people to decide for a pension. We have the
No,
right to decide
and
for a
you
pension.
do have the right to decide.
But we feel
And-
like we're
and-
so uninformed about everything.
So
we
that's
don't
what
know
I'm
what's
trying
going
to
on.
just say. Look, and I'm not talking to people. I'm talking an actuary is company, whoever you choose. I don't care. But you could go to the teachers, you could go to the nurses, you could go to any of them and say, okay, who did you use? Because they all went through this.
Definitely, and any of the ones that are reporting the last 2 days, especially today, they're all coming out. Shared risk is no good.
And maybe not. Maybe they
And
look at
the one that
different
stands
formula.
right beside you, Carney, said before he crossed the floor when he was NDP, the leader for NDP, he said shared risk is no good. So how can you look me in the eye right now and tell me that my future will be secure?
Be
What
honest,
I
New
would
Brunswick's
say-
listening.
What I would say about is the conditions we put around it to ensure it would be secure for you. I would
The
say
wording and
please-
conditions can be changed at your
No,
will.
no. This is part. That's why I want to make it part of the contract. So you have a commitment from us.
And